More Chair Shot Reality here on WrestlingInc.com. We hope you like the videos. Please like, comment, share, do whatever you got to do. Enjoy the entire playlist. You can binge watch. Make sure you tell a friend. I'm Justin LeBar, down with my other CSR original who started this with me 384 episodes ago. Man, I don't think you can find many more entertainment marriages that last as long as we do. Josh Eisenberg. Josh, how are you?
I am wonderful, Justin. I'm surprised that you're still with me and I'm still with you. I mean, love is a strange thing these days, Justin, and our love is undying, apparently, no matter where we're at.
You lost weight, I put on weight, we still love each other the same. Okay.
We do.
Did you love the Kurt Angle return? Now, obviously, craziness happened last week. They billed the TLC Shield reunion. Days before, we start finding out, I mean, I might have been one of the first ones to put tweets out there, but it came quickly about how sickness was going on. They thought viral meningitis. It turns out to be mumps. Bray Wyatt's pulled from the show. Roman Reigns pulled from the show. So you need to find a way to replace Roman Reigns, who was, arguably the top attraction here individually. So they plug in Kurt Angle for his first WWE match in 11 years. He comes out all Shield gear, looking like Bull Buchanan. Does this help or hurt his? He's had a WWE run as an authority figure since Mania. Does this help or hurt his run in your eyes?
I think it's just very neutral, Justin. I don't want to be a guy that takes middle of the road, but we saw flashes of Kurt Angle that we wanted to see. We saw the suplexes. But one thing about Kurt Angle that I've never really connected him with is hardcore matches. The only one that we ever really remember is his match with Shane McMahon, and it's because Shane McMahon is that guy. And Shane McMahon is the one that took those massive bumps and obviously King of the Ring through the broken glass. So it was a little odd for me to see Angle in a TLC match and being this aggressive guy when we know him as one of the best technical wrestlers that ever graced the WWE ring. I'm okay with it because I think there's a bigger prize at the end of the day, and I think his bigger prize comes at WrestleMania 34. What I would have changed was his gear, and I would have changed have him coming out at the very beginning by himself. There's no need for us to say, oh, well, the Shield's back together. Well, no, Roman Reigns is the biggest piece of the Shield, and he wasn't there. So let's just move on and not call him an honorary member of the Shield. I found that a little strange.
When he came out through the crowd in the Shield gear to the Shield music, I was very upset. I immediately tweeted, how I wanted to see the Kurt Angle entrance, his music, his red, white, and blue gear. But having seen how the match went, and now that we're days removed, I'm actually happy they did that because, as you just said, it was kind of Kurt Angle, but it wasn't. He's not known for those kind of matches. Obviously, he has no relationship really with any of the guys in the ring other than the fact that he's their storyline boss. So I'm kind of glad now that I look back in hindsight that they did not spoil the Kurt Angle entrance. Sure, we got his comeback towards the end with his music, but I'm glad they didn't spoil the entire the entire thing that we're going to get probably at WrestleMania. I would agree. So I think when we look back,
I was going to say, do you think that his next match is at WrestleMania, or does he have something else before that?
I'm going to say WrestleMania is a safe bet. They certainly you could make an argument for seeds planted of he and Shane with this entire bragging rights invasion angle going on and what we saw on TV this past week. But at the same time, I think that would be very hard for the audience to follow because even though Shane and his SmackDown team act as the heels and the aggressors, Shane still is acting. He still is pretty much perceived as a babyface. So I don't think you want to have a split crowd on a Kurt Angle true return. I think you want Kurt Angle at Mania on the biggest stage against a clear-cut heel. My pick would be Jason Jordan.
You think a clear-cut heel and Jason Jordan's the guy that Kurt Angle's going to face at WrestleMania? Really?
Yes, I think.
Really?
Yes, Miz, I do. I think we find out Jason Jordan has been exploiting Kurt this whole time. Never really his son. All a big hoax. Very soap opera. I know, and I think that's how they get the heat. I mean, that's how they really. There's already some heat behind Jason Jordan of people rejecting him. I think this is how you get people to fully attach on that this guy has been cheating one of the greatest ever.
Well, I am going to please every Mark, Smark, and LeBarbarian out there and say if they really, really want to get their money from Kurt Angle, you do Kurt Angle versus Daniel Bryan.
It's a bold call, but
why not, Justin? Tell me why not, because for so long that's been a dream match even when Daniel Bryan was competing, even before he really made it. You saw these two technical geniuses in the ring. When Kurt Angle was in TNA, Daniel Bryan was doing his best stuff in WWE. Now, we know the injuries. We know everything about Daniel Bryan's background. Kurt Angle had a similar background. They just let him compete. I don't think it's out of the question that they're waiting and they're going to milk as much as possible for potential Daniel Bryan, SmackDown, Kurt Angle, Raw, WrestleMania 34. You don't need Angle to build up anybody. He's not that guy. He's not Triple H where he's going to have a match every year against a young guy. You have Triple H for that reason. You don't need Kurt Angle to. Give me a nostalgic match between Kurt Angle and Daniel Bryan.
Eisenberg, everything you're saying about Angle versus Bryan, the fan in me, I mean, I'd go crazy. And how fitting would it be? It would be in New Orleans where Bryan had his famous, famous WrestleMania 30. But look, I'm sitting here in the studio in downtown Pittsburgh. Just a couple blocks up, I believe he's on Grant, is Jerry McDivitt, who's Vince McMahon's lawyer. I think between him and the insurance policies, they don't want to have to worry about WrestleMania, the biggest stage ever, and Kurt and Bryan both, neither of them able to leave the ring because they're physically paralyzed. So I don't think we're going to go
Let's put a gentleman's bet. Let's put a gentleman's bet on this right now. This weekend and end of October, right now, let's put a bet on it, Justin. I bet you a case of beer on Bourbon Street, not one beer, not two. I'll take a 12-pack on Bourbon Street if it's Daniel Bryan and Kurt Angle. If not, you get the field. I'll give you 2 beers.
You're on, fine. I'll even buy you one of the little light-up drinks, too. It's all fine.
I love light-up drinks, Justin. I'm here all week, baby.
Spirits on Bourbon, that's where we'll be. We can tell you that much. All right, we got plenty more in this weekend of Chair Shot Reality on WrestlingInc.com. Make sure you like, share, comment, do what you got to do. Coming up next, the next video for Josh and I is we are going to talk about Asuka, the debut of Asuka. A lot of controversy under how her matches have been booked, so don't go anywhere.